Nearly 10 months after losing to Zuma at the ANC's elective conference in Polokwane, Mbeki was compelled to quit. The Thabo Mbeki School of Public and International Relations was hosting the discussion, and Mbeki, the Chancellor of the University of South Africa, was speaking. Mbeki claimed that a coordinated attack on the state was the cause of the breakdowns at Eskom, Transnet, the SA Police Service, SAPS, the National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, and the SA Revenue Services, SARS. Shedding a load. When asked about load shedding, Mbeki recalled that the nation's first instance occurred in 2008, forcing the closure of major enterprises like mines for a week. Thabo Mbeki, a former president of South Africa, asserts that he thinks there was an organized effort to bring down crucial South African institutions like Eskom, which resulted in widespread and deliberate load shedding throughout the nation. He claimed that since around 2008, roughly the time he was ousted from office following a humiliating loss to Jacob Zuma at the 2007 Polokwane conference, key institutions had been gradually crumbling. He stated it was falsely reported that the government refused the request for new power plants made by Eskom leadership in 1998, which led to the first round of load shedding in 2008. He said that the government had no reason to ignore Eskom leadership. The real cause of the load shedding, according to Mbeki, was that certain power stations ran out of coal and had not replenished the coal supplies appropriately. That story was cooked, it was false, he claimed. They failed to restock the coal. The power plants lacked sufficient coal. There was coal in the nation, Mbeki stated, alluding to sabotage by Eskom employees. Mbeki referred to former Eskom CEO Brian Molefe as an old friend and claimed that Molefe handled load shedding by maintaining and fixing infrastructure, which prevented load shedding from occurring between 2014 and 2017. When load shedding resumes in 2017-18, there will be newcomers who act differently than Brian Molefe did. I believe this is on purpose, stated Mbeki. President Cyril Ramaphosa was held accountable by Molefe in January 2021 for load shedding. The pricey Kusile power plant, which has now cost taxpayers over $160 billion and is more than 8 years behind schedule, was cited by Mbeki as an example of how the country was being hampered. Mbeki claimed that Indian contractors were hired to construct Unit 1 at the power plant, which they completed in a lot less time than anticipated and began generating electricity in 2018. However, when it was anticipated that the contract for the Indian engineers would be extended, things immediately went awry. After that, an odd event takes place. They anticipated that their contract would be extended so they could build more units. Get a black empowerment equity, partner, advises Eskom. The Indians came with 50 engineers and technicians. They say if you have black engineers to join ours, Eskom says we don't have that, the man claimed. After the Indian company was unable to find a BE partner, the contract was ultimately terminated. The Indians left Kusile, which is still unfinished today. I'm saying it's intentional. They have intended to manufacture this electrical problem just like they wanted to produce a revenue issue at SARS, the speaker said. Is it an accident when you look at Transnet, the police, and the prosecution? All of these things are going wrong consistently. Mbeki queried. According to Mbeki, the methodical disintegration of institutions starting in 2008 was not only fueled by avarice and corruption but also a far more nefarious assault on the state. One of the things we need to understand is that there is a whole process that takes place in this nation that we still don't fully comprehend, a process that is designed to make sure that the Democratic Republic does not flourish. None of the unfortunate events that occurred are accidents. Although there is corruption and greed involved, the main goal is to ensure that we fail. As he explained, there were deliberate processes put in place by some people to make sure we fail. So it is a matter of strategic importance to understand what went wrong. Meanwhile, as part of a state visit to South Africa, China pledged to assist the country by donating equipment worth over $160 billion in an effort to stop excessive load shedding. The police, prosecution, SARS, and Transnet, according to Mbeki, have all experienced a significant deterioration and collapse over the past 15 years. He alleged that U.S. company Baines began preparing former SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane for the position a year before he was nominated to the position. Mbeki claimed that further analysis and investigation were required to determine why South Africa went down after 2008. According to him, SARS had been outperforming since 1994 and then all of a sudden began to underperform. SARS destruction was a conscious choice, he claimed. The democratic revolution was intentionally and consciously intended to be destroyed, he claimed. Mbeki stated that he thought the ANC ought to address the issue. Additionally, he claimed that since the 1997 Mathekeng conference, the ANC has drawn individuals who were using it as a stepping stone to get tenders. He claimed that despite repeated warnings about these individuals at conferences, nothing was done to get rid of them within the organization. He claimed that there was a pervasive culture of factionalism that went against ANC ideals. He claimed that nothing had changed despite the demand for renewal made at the 2018 Nasrec conference and reiterated in the 2022 Nasrec 2 conference. Thank you for watching our news channel. Don't forget to subscribe and like Global Perspective News. Have a blessed day. Watch Movio channel live and get the latest breaking news headlines of the day for national news and world news today.